Believe in yourself. It is a common adage of the modern day. And like many things of today, these words are thrown around almost farcically. How many times have you heard this on social media, banners, TV, and all across the internet? We are guessing countless times. We can read it in motivational videos, books, and countless seminars strewn all over the internet. It seems as if there was any phrase the world would love to shove down our throats, it is believe in yourself. But what does it even mean? Believing yourself is often used as an upbeat message, one that represents happiness and satisfaction, one that represents everything nice. We would disagree with this representation. If there is anything we can learn from Friedrich Nietzsche, the great German philosopher, it is that believing oneself is anything but a journey of happiness. In fact, at its core, it is tragic. In his writing named Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche does not tell a tale of happiness. Zarathustra, the titular character, had just come down from his cave in the mountains, possessing a decade's worth of what solitude had taught him. He wanted to share his knowledge with the world. However, he was met with disappointment when he tried to teach what he had learned in front of the crowds. People did not care about him. They did not care about his message or about his reasoning. It was a tragic tale of rejection from the people he wanted to believe in, and also about how he recovered from this failure to grab the public's ear. Believing in oneself is not a choice to be taken lightly. Maybe we could learn a lesson from one of the greatest figures in modern history about it. Vincent Van Gogh was a man inflicted by many tragedies in his lifetime. In 1876, he learned that he would soon lose a job that he had been in for more than 6 years. He loved what he was doing. It seemed difficult to move on. In a letter to his brother, he wrote, "So far, I am really rather in the dark about what I should do, but we must try and keep hope and courage alive." It was not easy, but he believed in himself. Soon after he moved from Paris, he was employed as a teacher at a school in England. By 1888, Van Gogh, now in the early stages of his painting career, was faced with a conundrum: how to sell and how to eat. In another letter to his brother, the troubled painter expressed, "If you are a painter, you are taken either for a madman or for a rich man. A cup of milk costs you 1 franc, a slice of bread and butter 2, and paintings don't sell." It was a time of constant hardship. His paintings were not selling much. At some point, he even seemed to accept this fact. But amidst all this anguish, amidst all the suffering he had to go through, he made a prediction. The day will come, though, when people will see that they are worth more than the cost of the paint and my subsistence, very meager, in fact, that we put into them. And what a prediction that was! As of now, Vincent van Gogh is regarded as one of the greatest painters who have ever walked this planet. The belief he had in himself paid off for humanity, but not in his lifetime, not for him. Vincent's story is not a happy tale. During his lifetime, Van Gogh had to go through disappointments, setbacks, and suffering. Believing in yourself despite such life events is not simply a product of pursuit of happiness. It is in fact brave. And that is why Nietzsche's thoughts on the matter ring very true. Dare only to believe in yourselves and in your inward parts. He who does not believe in himself always lies. It is ultimately daring to believe in oneself, accepting yourself for your shortcomings, but also having faith in what you're capable of. It is a daring road of self-discovery and introspection. And this belief lends itself to another equally important point. Believing in yourself can happen only after accepting what you can and cannot do. If that belief is absent, so is our faith in whatever actions we can do. If one does not have that faith, he will always misguide not only himself, but the people around him. If Van Gogh hadn't had faith in himself, he would have forever believed that his paintings will not sell. And what would have happened if he had kept believing this untruth? Perhaps he would have stopped painting and pursuing art much earlier, and we would have been deprived of an entire legacy. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra, we find the protagonist to be facing similar problems. One great observation that Zarathustra made was of how all of us are on the road to actualization. In his preaching, he mentioned the concept of the Overman. He is the person who has forsaken all values of society and operates on his own value system and purpose. According to Zarathustra, the human being is simply the connecting bridge between the animal and the Overman. And the Overman is ultimately the person who has complete belief in himself. He is the ideal being. He knows himself, he knows his strengths, and he knows his flaws. And he acknowledges every trait and quality he has. Because he knows himself, acknowledges and understands himself, he does not lie. He does not question his potential, simply because he understands what he is capable of and what he is not capable of. He will lose the ability to lie. Perhaps none of us can reach the true goal of the Overman. After all, having complete and unbridled acceptance of ourselves is not easy. There are many times when our belief in ourselves will flicker. When circumstances get bitter, no one feels untouched by doubt. But it is at that specific time when we need to take a step back. It is at that time where we have a choice to either incessantly doubt our ability or accept our limitations and capability to carry on. We are certainly resilient creatures, but it is not easy to understand that. It takes courage to believe in oneself. Perhaps during those times when your belief in yourself flickers, it is important for you to remember to dare only to believe in yourselves and in your inward parts. He who does not believe in himself always lies.